it doesn't matter what the client spends. Everyone, for some reason, falls into the same issue where ROAS looks good, must be fine. We're following this methodology that no one else does. So this works. It's been proven time and time again. But what we learned is that even with the most accurate match rates and your customer is uploaded and identified 19,000 or 20,000 times, when the actual conversion comes in, Google says, I don't know if that's a new or used or a new or returning customer. So just throw it in the end. You don't have to get down to like, well, this keyword didn't kind of produce a lot of results in the last 2 weeks, but had a slightly lower CPM the previous 2 weeks. None of that matters. It doesn't. The main thing, whether you're spending 20 grand a month, and Neil, you and I were talking about this yesterday, I think, when we're talking about high spend clients. This is a client that spends, what is 20 grand a month? $250,000 a year on Google. So that's $250,000. That's $250,000 a year. That's 20 grand a month. That's not a small spend client. It's not a big spend client, but 22,000 is a lot bigger than the 3 or 4K spend clients. I've seen 5K per month accounts in better shape than this. It doesn't matter what the client spends. Everyone, for some reason, falls into the same issue where ROAS looks good, must be fine. And then no one's smart enough to pick it apart and saying, wait a minute, who are these people we're spending all this money on? So it's don't be nervous when you hop into a 20 grand account. You can still follow the same thing. Even our accounts right now that we're looking at, it's like take a macro step back. We need new customers. Are they coming from where we're marketing from? Realistically, if you were actually the person interested in this product, how would you find it? Would you Google the brand name the first time? No. So that's what we have to do is take yourself out of the Google Ads hole, find yourself in a realistic scenario from an individual's perspective, and then verify it with data afterwards. And we got your hand raised.
Yeah, I had a question. You said something interesting that they're on Walmart and then they buy the product and then they come on Google and convert, and all of a sudden they're a new customer. We can't avoid that, can we?
Well, you can by going after the brand the least amount.
Yeah, in that sense, yeah. But in terms of cold, what if it's just, yeah, in terms of brand, then yeah, you can.
Yeah. Now, when 80% of your spend's on brand, you're trying to get those people. And the worst part is that when we're talking about new customers to the company and new customers to Google, those are way two different things. What that really means is new customer to the company first detected by Google. It's not new customer by Google. That's it. Google should call it first detected customer. That's what they should, because that'd be the truth. You can have a new, but
so how would you differentiate a customer generated by, let's just say, YouTube and one that just came from Walmart in a brand campaign? You wouldn't be able to then, would you?
Well, in YouTube, you can start to exclude website visitors if you want to and run a YouTube remarketing or a YouTube RLSA, or you can segment them out hard if you want to. Would you need to is a different story. But if you wanted to take all of your existing website audiences and all of your purchasers and add a negative 90% bid adjustment or excluded on all those people on YouTube and shopping, you'll push those out as much as possible. And then your brand campaign, you can leave it on a small spend to verify that people are still interested in your brand campaign. Or sorry, in your brand. So when you're like, hey, have they been to my website? No. Have they bought from us in the last year because I uploaded my customer list? No. You can, have they seen any of my ads before? Or have they even been to my YouTube channel? No and no. You can exclude all those individual ones and make it as cold as possible. And then when you run a small, let's say 10% of your brand and say, yeah, this brand is at 2000x ROAS, let's keep pushing. How are your global numbers and how's MER? That's where you don't necessarily need to get the conversion in Google Ads to prove that theory. You can have a small test pilot inside of Google, which is a small 10% brand campaign. Look at the direct, look at organic, look at overall MER, and then look at site traffic and actual revenue, comparing week over week, year over year. Kaden, what's up?
I was just gonna say, at the end of the day, does it really just come down to like what you track of each user? Like when it comes down to like the name, phone number, whatever, doesn't matter where they came from. Just so the client can know, okay, like so-and-so came from Google for the first time because we didn't get their information from, like, for example, a Walmart store or something like that.
You can, yeah. Google's gonna basically just ignore anything you give it anyway, even if it lies. Wait a minute, Anil, what was the company that we just spoke to last week that he was wondering why new customer acquisition wasn't on?
Yeah, that's Yes, I think so. Like,
Okay.
just one sec.
So watch this, everybody, because here's where things do not make sense anymore. Here's what we know to be true. Our instincts are 10 times more valuable than Google. I promise you. Here's what I mean. Yeah. So says, hey, I have an ads integration, and I daily through API upload every single customer that ever comes in to my company ever. And I upload these things daily. And the segment list, and this is created from this API connection, created and through the Google Ads app. I have a 100% match rate. Okay, 100%. Everyone is seen. There's 20,000 people in here, and you can see on search 19,000 are captured and identified. And this is a list that is uploaded daily and keeps getting bigger. Why are we not using new customer acquisition or bid only for new customers? And then I say, that's a really great question. When you look at the new versus returning, did you know that in the last 30 days, I have 204 that Google says, fuck it, I don't know. So what do we know? We have a match rate of 100%. It's uploaded daily and every single one of my customer lists is in there. And we're like, and Google still doesn't give a shit. So would I bid only for new customers and kill 200 of my conversions? Nope. Would I bid higher for my potential new customers and bid higher 33% of the time, potentially 80% of the time, and simply just increase my CPC? And I still couldn't verify, was it a new customer or not? He goes, oh yeah, that makes sense. Don't do that. So what we learned is that even with the most accurate match rates and your customer is uploaded and identified 19,000 or 20,000 times, when the actual conversion comes in, Google says, I don't know if that's a new or used or new or returning customer. So just throw it in the unknowns. But by the way, I'm going to give you a bad opti score when you're not bidding higher for new customers. So to kind of go into deeper illustration, Caden, yes, like the way for us to do this is by trying to push it out all the way, or by at least not making an effort to capture the most likely scenario that's going to happen when a person wants to purchase a new product. I've been using this so much that, for example, I even raised a red flag with our big company today. And I said, hey, by the way, we're over concentrated. He goes, what do you mean? I said, well, yesterday you made a total of 921 first-time customers, and we have a $90 cost per acquisition. So we spent 83,000, made 81,000, and we need to be under $100. Nailed it, and 921 conversions, almost 1,000 new customers yesterday. Awesome. By the way, the SEM channels, actually, you know what? Here, how about this? The SEM channels, not even the brand yesterday was responsible for half of those.
This is not a glitch. I'm interrupting the video you're watching because I need to remind you that I'm always looking for people to join our team. So if you're passionate about Google Ads and you want to work with the best Google Ads agency on the planet, please go to so8.com/apply. Speaking of working with the best Google Ads agency on the planet, if you're having trouble with Google Ads and you want professional help, that's what we do. You can go to so8.com, that's SOL8.com, to apply for your free, no obligation action plan. And if I've given you any level of value at all, maybe think about giving me a thumbs up and subscribing to our channel. That's how we juice the YouTube algorithm so they actually know that I know what I'm talking about. If you have questions, comments, concerns, or confessions, hit me below in the comments. And now, back to your regularly scheduled program.
The one shopping campaigns are responsible for about between one third and 1/4 of all of their new customers. Now, I have a horrible CAC on this one. It's 158. I'm $58 over. I don't care. Globally, we're fine. And I know that the 90 is because those people are going to come into like the what's it called? Non-paid, unattributed first time. There's 50 customers there. Direct, which they can't tell, there's another 116 customers there. You're not going to see everything. That's why global MER, global TAC makes the most amount of sense. But we know that regardless of the results, when we look at everything, when you apply this type of methodology, when you apply what I'm teaching you here today about how to look and to identify where exactly are these new customers most likely going to come from, and then measure the appropriate thing to measure, not just that individual campaign CAC and ROAS, you'll find that this publicly traded company, Solutions 8, is bringing them more than half of their customers every day. And they're running, Bliss Point, they're running Snapchat, Instagram, Facebook. We're not even running YouTube. They're running Criteo, Vay, Zeta, Linear, streaming, Hulu. We're doing half of the out of 9 different areas. We're running one of them out of the 10. So 1 out of 10, we're more than half of all our conversions because we're following this methodology that no one else does. So this works. It's been proven time again. But all we have to do is when we evaluate something, take just a realistic approach to it, and you'll find out you're like, oh, you know what, it didn't really kind of make sense to do too much, kind of automated remarketing targeting for new customers. It wasn't working. Client's still not happy. Metrics don't line up. Take that kind of full approach, but look at your conversion tracking, feed the beast of what it needs, make sure we're tracking everything we possibly can, make sure it's healthy enough with the daily ad spend, not stretched too thin, very consolidated, and make sure that this is something that is targeted to, hey, I know that if we target the right people with a good YouTube message at the right time consistently, we should see scale. And I know, Kate, you have your hand raised, but also this is the reason why we just got more ad spend. Like, hey, MER still moving up, and we're spending more, keep going. Here's go from 120. Let's give you $130,000 this month. We thought it was 180, but then that's why I was like, let's just wait till Ben verifies. But that's still going up and up and up. That's never happened before. The reason why they hired us is because they couldn't make this happen, and now it's working with these strategies that I've shared with you all today. All right, everyone. Real quick, just because I know this was kind of like a free day. It's like, when the substitute teacher's in and doesn't want to teach that day, and they roll in the VHS TV because they didn't run at work. That was what today was.
What, if any, what decision would you make from a conversion path that might make you change anything inside a campaign? If you were to see something inside conversion paths and go, oh, what would you interpret inside conversion paths which would cause you to